Today we are going to discuss the case of Justice Yashwant Verma in the context of a judge's accountability in India. Before we get into the topic, let me introduce myself. My name is Ms. Vandana Pawar, Legal AI Associate of Dr. V.V.L.N.Sastry, jurist, international arbitrator, public policy expert, Fulbright scholar, and financial economist. I am presenting you a 360-degree legal perspective on Justice Yashwant Verma's case. Let us now get into the topic. Yes, we all know that the judiciary is meant to be the pillar of justice, but when a judge himself is accused of misconduct, it raises questions about the integrity of the system. In a recent incident involving Justice Yashwant Verma, allegations surfaced that have left the public and legal community in shock. This is a case that not only questions the individual's actions, but also the accountability mechanisms that should apply to India's most powerful legal figures. Let us begin with the incident and immediate repercussions. In a startling development, Justice Yashwant Verma, a judge of the Supreme Court of India, now a sitting judge at Allahabad High Court, was implicated in a case involving the possession of a substantial amount of cash found at his outhouse in New Delhi. The discovery of the money, which was huge, raised serious questions about potential corruption or misconduct. In response to the controversy, Justice Verma was swiftly transferred from his position to Allahabad, a routine measure taken in such situations. However, this move failed to quell the growing public demand for his complete removal from judicial duties, leading to calls for his impeachment. Despite his transfer, the call for judicial accountability echoed throughout the nation. Given the scenario, now let us look at the process of judicial removal in India. Under India's constitution, the removal of a judge is no simple matter. Article 124(4) specifies that a judge can only be removed through impeachment, a process requiring a 2/3 majority vote in both houses of Parliament. This process begins with the introduction of a motion in Parliament, which must be supported by at least 100 MPs. The motion is then referred to a committee composed of the Chief Justice of India, 2 senior judges, and the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. If the committee finds merit in the allegations, it is forwarded to Parliament, where it must be passed by a 2/3 majority in both houses to remove the judge. Having seen the constitutionality, now let us see the specific with the case of Justice Yashwant Verma. The case of Justice Yashwant Verma has shaken the public trust in the judiciary. Allegations of his involvement in financial irregularities, particularly with the unaccounted cash, have prompted widespread calls for his removal. But how does the process unfold when such serious accusations are made against someone with so much power? Despite the serious nature of the allegations, some critics argue that the impeachment process has been hindered by political divisions. Much like previous cases of judicial misconduct, such as Justice V. Ramaswamy's impeachment proceedings in 1993, Justice Verma's case has encountered challenges from political forces unwilling to take collective action. In Justice Ramaswamy's case, despite evidence of financial misconduct, political and partisan interests ensured that the impeachment motion was blocked. Similarly, Justice P.D. Dinakaran, who faced allegations of land grabbing, was shielded from removal due to lack of consensus in Parliament. Interesting precedent is the case of Justice C.S. Khannan. In India, Justice C.S. Khannan of the Calcutta High Court is perhaps the most controversial figure in recent history when it comes to judicial accountability. Khannan became infamous for his allegations against fellow judges of the Supreme Court, accusing them of corruption, discrimination, and misconduct. In 2017, Khannan was found guilty of contempt of court after he issued orders that criticized the judiciary, including his fellow judges. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison by the Supreme Court of India. However, instead of being removed from office, Khannan continued his tenure as a judge for several more months before his eventual retirement. Khannan's case highlighted the complexities surrounding judicial accountability in India. Despite being convicted, He remained a sitting judge for a long period, which raised important questions about the lack of mechanisms for holding judges accountable when they are found guilty of misconduct. In India, the substance of the case is not important. Rather, it is the political will which is important. Hence, let us look at the political influence and the impeachment process. The failure of the impeachment attempts can be attributed to the complex political dynamics within Parliament. Impeachment motions often fail due to a lack of political consensus. Ruling parties may view the impeachment as politically motivated or an opportunity to challenge the ruling government, rather than focusing on the allegations against the judge, and vice versa. For example, in Justice Ramaswamy case, even though the evidence was compelling, political allegiances and party interests prevented the motion from passing. The same happened with Justice Dina Karan, whose impeachment was blocked by a divided political front. Despite accusations of serious misconduct, these judges remained on the bench, unaccountable. This lack of political will to act collectively underscores a critical flaw in the system. While the system mandates a clear process, the absence of bipartisan support in Parliament leads to inaction. At this juncture, it is important to look at international precedents from the UK and USA. The issue of holding judges accountable is not unique to India. In both the United States and the United Kingdom, judges have faced impeachment or removal due to misconduct or ethical violations, highlighting the importance of maintaining high standards in the judiciary. In the United States, Judge Thomas Porteous was impeached in 2010 after being found guilty of accepting bribes and lying under oath. The U.S. impeachment process, though similar to India's, is more streamlined in holding judges accountable when such serious misconduct is found. In the UK, the resignation of Sir John Lowry in the 1990s due to ethical concerns about his impartiality serves as a reminder that judicial accountability, while important, must be handled delicately. While Lowry's case did not involve criminal misconduct, his departure under pressure raised important questions about maintaining judicial integrity. Given the complexities, there is a need for reform in India. India's impeachment process, while constitutional, is deeply flawed. The lack of political will to act collectively has often resulted in cases where judges remain unaccountable for their actions. This raises the question, how can the system be reformed to ensure that judges, regardless of their position, are held to the highest standards of conduct? One possible reform could be the establishment of an independent body tasked with investigating judicial misconduct, ensuring that such investigations are free from political influence. This would help ensure transparency and uphold public trust in the judicial system. In conclusion, the case of Justice Yashwant Verma, whether fully investigated or not, serves as a critical reminder that the judiciary must be held accountable, just like any other institution. The failure to do so erodes public trust and undermines the very principles that the judiciary is meant to uphold. As we continue to reflect on judicial accountability, it is clear that India must find a way to strengthen its mechanisms for ensuring that judges remain above reproach. The future of the judiciary depends not only on its independence, but also on its ability to hold its members to the highest standards of ethical conduct. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts below on how we can strengthen judicial accountability in India. Until next time, stay informed. This Dr. V.V.L.N.Sastry's channel, please subscribe.